Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel again. I am Miss.ABA, and here are a couple of tips if you are a presenter or anybody that works on front of screen. Here are a couple of tips to get you going. Let's go. All right, so the first thing that you really have to keep in mind being in front of the camera, whether that be in front of your own camera or, being in a well-noted platform. And this is one that I've always kept because it was the hardest, okay? So if you're going to go in front of the camera wearing a black or white top, it's just not it. I always wondered why. And I was like, listen, a black and white top is the easiest. But when I started out a bit over like 10 years ago, and I was really getting coaches and workshops concerning presenting and all of that, they were like, no, don't wear things that are too busy with flowers and stuff like that. No black and white. Why? Because actually with editing and, some effects that you would really love to use, it's just not going to go. Now, of course, the world of social media and people being their own content creators and being in charge of what they put out, the story has become different. But if you want to do things well, and if you are going to go, let's say, on platforms where you're going to do interviews, maybe a talk show or something like that, do keep those things in mind so that it goes easier for the people that are shooting you. If you're even in doubt, just bring an extra top with that. And another thing is also relax. Being in front of the camera, right, especially when there is a light added to it, could just make you go stiff like crazy. Like, trust me, you can just go so stiff that it could just paralyze you. It's really that intense. And the actual right way to do it is just practice every time, especially if it is that light that makes you nervous. It is so good to just actually sit and practice in front of the light and have somebody to interview you, ask some questions to get you on your way. But relaxing is so important. Not into the point where your posture goes like this, because then all of a sudden you start to have like a different kind of shape and a different kind of belly that wasn't there. But it has to be in a way where it's balanced, where you still sit in a way where, it holds like a nice profile or a nice shape of yourself. You could just practice. And then, let's say if the chair is sideways, and it's good to see, okay, how can I best sit sideways so that it accentuates my shape or something like that. Listen, especially as we females, we have to take note of this, because or else you'll look bigger on camera than you do in person, which, I've actually looked a lot of times and I got like, oh, you're so much smaller in person. But that is a whole different conversation. Anyway, relaxation is the way to go. Another one is also, and I mentioned that before, is don't sit too chilled out, especially when you do like couch kind of conversations and things like that. If you really sit into the couch, especially if it has like this good room where you can sit comfortable, on camera, it really looks a bit too relaxed, right? Or sometimes you can come and put out a belly, and meanwhile, in person, you just have a flat stomach and things like that. So it's kind of good to sit in between the edge of the seat and the end of it, kind of in the middle, but a bit more towards the edge. And, in a way where your legs are really closed nice, or situated in a way that really matches your style. If you're kind of like a masculine kind of person that, is like a bit, then it's good. But if you're really feminine and you have heels on and a particular skirt, preferably over the knee, then it's good to, put it on one side and just, do the interview like that. One thing that I also, recommend is to really do some exercises before you start, especially when speaking as a voiceover artist. We actually have, some tongue twisters and practices that you do, or something to warm you up. And even as a singer, we have like a warming up thing, because it is so much better when your voice is at ease and it's, relaxed, and you won't be like talking to the blue. Well, let me rewind. It is really nice if you could maybe do for 2 minutes some tongue twisters. You could find it online, or maybe warm up your cheeks and your lips a little bit just to relax and to have like a good flow of speaking when you do your interview. And then I think last but not least, have fun, because that is the most important thing. Anything that you do needs a touch of your personality. You're unique, you're different, there is nobody like you. And if you have the opportunity, please take that opportunity every time. That when you're in talking, aside from the topic, you can add just a little bit of flair, of personality, because you belong there. I've had that as the same as well, where it was really hard to, look up what is my personality? What am I going to do? But if you're a person that naturally has a nice sense of humor, you can add some things a little bit or twist the question a bit more in a way where you can both laugh about it. But I'm taking it to a whole other conversation. But anyway, if you're going in front of the camera, do an interview, going to go and talk, these are some tips that can really, really help you on your way. And of course, if you love the content on my channel, I talk everything media, music, creative, coming from a Ghana girl like me. Do subscribe to my channel. Let's keep in touch. Let's keep the conversation going. And if you have a tip, bring it here. Write it down. Let's go.